And we're back, and I can only apologise it's taken me so long to get this video together. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Mercy me, 42. Now look, I know this effort from Hamilton Academical is a tribute to the founding of the club and its original colours, etc, etc, but it really is just a car crash of colours. Blue and green is a very difficult combo to get right. If you're on the likes of Blue Sky, Twitter, etc, you may have seen that a team out of the US, Portland Hearts of Pine, have revealed their kit with a very similar colour scheme to the Ackies, and it's a work of art. It's very much a grey area and a very difficult line to walk along to get the mix right. And unfortunately, Hamilton are propping up the bottom of the table. I've got a lot of love for Cove. Good community focused people behind the scenes there, but this kit is a sign of the times. A tightening of the purse strings and an off the rack Adidas template with a badge slapped on it. It's not terrible, it's not inspiring. I'm very disappointed. Look, I'm not the biggest EV2 fan, so it may just be my biases talking here. It's a very pub league feel to this one. It's a carryover from the previous season, no real surprise there for a team in the 4th division, but come on Annan, you can do better. One of the best, worst nights out I ever had was in Alloa, and I won't be immortalising it with this away kit offering from the Hench Wasps. Going by the website you used to research these videos, Football Kit Archive, fantastic work by the way, this is the kit's 6th season in use. Alloa fans, is that correct? If so, what's your thoughts? What's the reasoning? Please let us know in the comments. Forfar getting a 4 from me. First take, I promise. I may be being harsh with the rating, but it stemmed mostly from confusion. Forfar has a sky blue home kit and a slightly duller sky blue away kit? What's the logic there? Forfar fans, reach out to us, let us know. And what's your thoughts? Sterling Albion have been absolutely done dirty by Dave. A 3? Really, mate? I mean, I know a 6 from me ain't exactly pulling up trees, but a 3 is really shitty. Maybe Dave had a bad experience at the Wallace Monument? I have no idea. Dave, come on, man. Peter Heed's all black everything will look grand on the ultras of the Blue Toon, especially with their balaclavas and Napajiri jackets. But it doesn't have me reaching for my wallet. A solid 5 though, not to be questioned. This is Sparta, and it's very disappointing. Since their promotion from the Lowland League, they've been making some class memories out on the pitch. It's just a shame they're immortalised with the mediocre kits. I'd love to say a bit more Riz with the 2025 efforts, says the 33-year-old man. But come on, you know what we want. Not gonna lie lads, I was not expecting to be rating Edinburgh City in the 2024 season rankings. I'm thankful and happy that it seems they've navigated around their off-field difficulties and producing on the pitch. Similar to Peter Heed, not a bad effort from Puma, but it can always just be better. Man, is there anything I can say here that isn't going to feel like I'm kicking a dead horse? This season's away effort feels very Malky Mackay. Uninspiring, but inevitable. Westy, I can promise you there's absolutely no bias in this rating, but I'm not a fan of the silver/grey. Easily would have scored a 6 for me if they'd replaced that with maybe a white. What's the reason for both county kits having a lot of grey this season? County fans, let us know in the comments, and please don't slate me. Wraith have been very sharply fitted these last couple of seasons, although not at the same level as that Gran Canaria kit. This one is pretty good. I love the tartan touches, Will they be dancing in the streets of Wraith for this one? What's your thoughts, Kirkcaldy Mafia?
Hello, it's your old pal Dave here, aka Lover of Drams. Hope you've not missed me too much. Now let's get back into the swing of rating some kits, shall we? Now, we've come from a strong 4 in the previous entry to a very generous 4 here. This is the one from Stranraer this season. I'm just not a fan of this one at all, really. It's just not very inspiring at all, in my most humble opinion. Very poor top actually this season. Next up is Bonnie Rig Rose, and while this isn't a bad top per se, it was just missing that bit of cutting edge design and flamboyance for me. While there are worse tops out there in the big world of football kits, there certainly are much better ones than this one. The yellow and black always do go well together though, which I'm sure Wiz Khalifa would appreciate. If you know, you know. Now trying to go up a notch with the away kits. This one from St Mirren is actually pretty decent. A 5 for me was maybe just a little bit too harsh. I like the blue colour of it, and I also like how the colouring of the sleeve trims have tied in just really nicely with the colour of the sponsor logo as well. It's actually not bad of an effort in fairness. Apologies St Mirren, I probably should have scored you higher here. And now moving on to Ayr United. While this isn't actually that bad of a kit, I was kind of disappointed that they didn't use the badge from home top in this one. I'm a big fan of that one. Also, is it just me that finds it weird that they've got a different sponsor from the home top as well? But anyway, I actually quite like the faint tartan design throughout the top. It just adds a nice wee touch to it for me. And now this one here from Celtic Hearts. I've not really got a lot to say about this one in all honesty. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It's just that classic run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-road top for me. I've seen much better. Now at first glance, I thought this one from Arbroath was just another run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-road kind of top. But when I looked at it again, it was better than I first thought. Not much mind you though, to be fair. However, the tartan trim down the sides of the top does make this one stand out just a little bit more for me. Now, despite my score of 6 in this one, I am generally a fan of this top. The only reason I didn't score it higher is just that when you compare it side to side to the other away kits this season, it doesn't really come close for me. So yeah, unfortunately, just on that aspect alone, I scored it lower than what it should have been in. But not a bad effort from the Tangerines. And staying in Tayside, as this is a little number from St Johnstone. In principle, this had the makings of a decent top, but for it to be 140th anniversary top, I was expecting something more from them to mark the occasion fittingly. So in that respect, this was a bit of a letdown, which meant I took some points off them. But who knows, maybe the next anniversary top will be better than this one. Now, while I like that this one from Queen's Park tried to be different from the other Adidas kits this season, I just felt that the front of the top was a bit too busy looking for me with all those polka dots. I've heard the saying, less is more. Well, that definitely applies to this top. And also that sponsor logo is just way too high up there. My general pet peeve with these tops is the sponsor logo being so high up. And finally, this one here from Falkirk. I initially wanted to score this one quite low as just a plain boring top. However, the design in the neck and sleeve cuffs make it just stand out a little bit more for me and keeps it away from being low down in this ranking. Still, I would have liked to have seen a bit more from Falkirk and O'Neill's with this one. Now I'll hand you back to the bearded Highlander to bring in the next batch of kits, and this will let me rest my vocals before I come back to you with the top 10. Cheerio!
One of the biggest arguments of 2024 between Dave and I was the gap on the rating for this Airdrieonian's effort. I absolutely love how Joma have handled this one, making it stylish while continuing to work with the giant V. Completely scunnered by Dave's utter lack of fucking style. Sorry, I've had a whiskey. Am I wrong in saying this kit would be better if we kept the sleeves yellow and pinstripes? I think so. I understand the reason for shoehorning in the blue, but this could really have been a very cool vintage look if they had just sorted out those sleeves, man. The second best team in League One with a decent effort here. Dave reckons I was generous with a 7. He may be right. But I had to do my man Saunderson a solid here. Not a huge amount to say on this one. I really need to start writing down notes when I rate these things. An improvement. Clyde have much bigger fish to fry than whether or not their kits are in the top half of the 42. But I'm glad they stepped out their comfort zone with the baby blue. Very good effort from the Nomads? Exiles? What are we calling them these days? First of all, bravo East Fife for putting mental health and suicide prevention group back on side on the front of their away kit. They easily could have taken the money from some random business, but they chose to put raising awareness over grabbing coin. And I quite enjoyed the sort of Huddersfield-esque look of this one. I would gladly add it to my collection. 16th is a very good finish for East Fife. Well done, lads. Apologies for the choice of pictures on this one. For some reason I could not find any, and I mean any, photos of Elgin City playing in this one. Very odd. However, in person it's a belter. Fits in well with the Union Badgers, Drums and Tifos. Well done to Elgin, and Alan Hale left. I'm on the promotion party. Finally, a top half effort from the crap store. Retro badge sold it for me. Everything else is a bit down the middle, but I'm a sucker for nostalgia. I've found since the Jers signed with a Manchester-based company, it's their third kits that have been the best, but sadly, we won't be making an SPFL third kit list, as it wouldn't really have that many teams in it. Quite amazing, and also odd how Dave, the closet Jer, rates Celtic higher than the Catholic, and the Catholic awards Rangers with the higher rating. What a world we live in, eh? I like the throwback Clover badge, but the colour of the main kit itself is headache inducing for me. I much prefer Celtic playing in, say, maybe a black away kit. I think that would be much better. Celtic third kit, by the way, I really like that, although slightly troublesome. Partick and O'Neill's have been smashing it the last couple of rankings, but they've struggled to be consistently top 10. I would have liked a little more craziness in the design to match the colour, but keep up the great work, O'Neill's. I hope we see more of you in the SPFL in the future. Put your hands up if you thought this was Borussia Dortmund at first. While things may be grim off the field, on the field, the Sons of the Rock are looking proper stylish. A former winner of this list, alongside Macron, they've done some really great work. I hope you guys can navigate through administration unscathed. Now let's head over to Dave with the top 10.
Murray Mental Health Football Club was created by my friends and I as a suicide prevention and support group for our small but beautiful part of Scotland. Suicide is the biggest killer of men under 49 in the United Kingdom. If it was any other disease, it would be covered a lot more than it is. We created the kit alongside Appin Sports in Edinburgh as a signal and a conversation starter. Try and get folk to open up. We don't make any money from the kits, it's purely for spreading the message, it's okay not to be okay.
And coming in at a respectable 10th is this one from Stenhousemuir. I actually like this top. I just probably unfairly compared it to their home top, which is an absolute work of art. Still, I did more than enough to get into the top 10, so well done Stenhousemuir. In theory, this Hearts top could have been a really good one. The design of it brings together some of the designs of the kits from the 80s, 90s and noughties. However, for me, it was just poorly executed. I don't think the colour of it really does it justice. It's just a bit of a letdown for me, I think, in all honesty. Sorry, Jambos. To be fair, this entry from Montrose is not a bad top, but I certainly wouldn't score it as high as Matty did. I've no idea what he was thinking here. You know, sometimes I question his sense of fashion. Weird man. Next up we have this offering from Aberdeen. I really like the design of this one. The yellow and black stripes look good next to each other, and what looks like Wolverine's claw marks down the top just adds something a little bit different too. My main gripe with this one, however, is the usual with me. The sponsor logo being way too high and close to the badge. It needs to be more central for me. However, a very decent effort. It's probably one of the best Adidas ones I've seen this season, to be fair, in all honesty. And by God, Matty loves a wacky kit design, doesn't he? Imagine giving this one a 9. However, I do like the thinking and the logic of the top. Now, given I have a tattoo of a thistle, I should have scored this one higher. However, I was kind of put off by the blue of the badge and the logo against the grey backdrop of the kit. For me, I just don't think it works or looks all that good for me. But I do applaud the out the box thinking of it. Not bad. Now, bringing us into the top 5 is this sexy little number from Motherwell. I love the tartan design throughout the top, along with the colour of the sleeve cuffs there. I also love the look of the club badge on the away top there. I just love the retro look and feel of it. Well done to Motherwell and Macron for this one. Top effort. This one from Dundee would have scored higher if everything didn't appear to be so clumped together. The sponsor, the club badge, the kit logo all just appear to be too close to each other. I do like the central placement of it though. It just needs to be spread apart a little bit for it to score higher for me. I know it sounds pretty picking my part, but that's just my opinion, so you know, deal with it. Now moving us into the top 3, and we have this one from Dunfermline. It's a very decent effort, however I personally think there are better away tops than this one. I do like the black and gold together. It just comes back to the sponsor placement for me, and maybe a little bit of my disdain for Dunfermline crept in a little bit there too. Sorry, I couldn't really help that. Now, I can't believe my beloved Livy didn't get first place here. For me, this is by far the best away top in Scotland this season. Granted, it might be a little bit biased there, but I mean, come on, it's fucking stunning. Despite being a fan, I don't normally buy a lot of Livy tops over the years. However, I did buy this one. I absolutely love what they've done with the badge and this top, along with the collar. The only reason I docked a point off my score was that the sponsor logo just doesn't seem to fit with the style of the top. Now, don't get me wrong, that's no slight on the fine people of Livy self-storage. Just, for me, it just doesn't look great in my opinion. Personally, I would love to see a sponsor-free version of this kit. How sick would that be, eh? Phenomenal. And coming in at first place is this one from the Cali Jags, Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Personally, I think Matty let his Highland goggles judge his scoring for this one. There's no way this is better than the Livy top. Mind you, Matty, at least Livy are in a higher league though, eh? All joking aside, this is a very decent top for their 30th anniversary. Oh, and also before I forget, Matt has asked me to mention that Inverness are the first team to go from bottom of the list to top the next season, but I might need to conduct a Stewards inquiry into this one. But anyway, congratulations to Callie and Puma. You are this year's Scotch and Scarves and Lover of Drams away kit champion for 24-25. I barely will tell Inverness going to win it anytime soon though.